At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead, scan the QR code now.
We're getting you ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's set to ring here in about 6 minutes or so. Things are going to be interesting this morning as ADP is out with a brand new jobs report, which says that private payrolls unexpectedly fell about 32,000 or by about 32,000. So that's already impacting the markets in pre-market trading. As you can see, the top of our board, the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and the Dow are all down. The bottom half is up, but this might be a topsy-turvy day, an up and down day based on that new ADP jobs report. We'll, of course, continue to monitor it for you throughout the day. Plus, we're going to be checking in with our resident economist. That would be Jake Novak. That's going to happen here momentarily. In fact, let's get you over to David Brody now for that interview. David, good morning.
Okay, good morning, T. Bates. Time now for a daily dose of dollars and common sense with that guy you just mentioned. That would be Jake Novak. He is the American Sunrise Early Edition host, the guy behind Jake's Takes Substack. Hey, Jake, before we get going on some of the topics of the day, let me get this your reaction to the latest numbers here that Terrence just mentioned. I'm looking at it here. The November private payrolls unexpectedly fell by 32,000 jobs. It was led by, it says, steep small business job cuts. That's according to the ADP. Your reaction this morning?
Well, you know, I used to be a huge fan of the ADP Jobs Report. You know me, David. I don't love the government reports. I like when they come from the private sector. So I'm crushed to tell everyone, and I really mean this. I'm not being silly. What we found out during the government shutdown that the ADP private sector jobs report is actually mostly about 80% of it just drawing on those government job reports. It isn't really that much of an independent report. So look, I don't love that number coming out of ADP, but I just don't put a huge amount of weight on it right now. That's why I think Terrence is right when he says we could have a topsy-turvy day. I don't think that these numbers are going to hold. Now, there may be something else negative that happens in the markets to send them down, but if they stay down where they are right now, and they're not really far down, this is just a small blip, then it'll be because of something else. I don't be surprised, though, if we see a reversal. I'm sorry. I wish the ADP report were more reliable, but to me, it's really just a slight variation on the already bad government jobs reports.
Okay, fair enough. Let's talk about housing affordability. It's obviously a big issue in America. It's really a huge part of our inflation problems, but you do have some important good news on this front, so tell us more.
Yeah, look, we have seen apartment rental prices decline, not slower growth, but actually going down. They went down another 1% in November. You know, there was a viewer on Rumble in the last hour when I was talking about this story. It was like, well, if I have $1,500 a month of rent and it's only down 15, how's that going to help me? Look, obviously this is a composite number, 1%, meaning somebody might find hundreds of dollars in savings. I just got email alerts on some apartments I was looking for my parents last year, hundreds of dollars less per month in rent. So obviously it's pick and choose, but the trend is down. And I would love to see home prices for buyers of homes go down as well. But this is nice as far as I'm concerned, as far as our inflation. A lot of people are renting. They're going to be renting for life, and we can bemoan that all we want. But while we're in that situation, it's great to see that supply, and by the way, David, this is because of supply, a lot more supply on the market for multi-unit home, multi-family type apartment buildings, and the prices are going down. And that's good news, and that'll really help inflation for a lot of Americans.
Yeah, and that really is driving a lot of this affordability talk, for sure. There's no doubt about that. There's a new front runner in the race to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. So tell us who that is and what's so compelling about this offer that we're hearing about, or you're hearing about, and you're about to tell us.
Yeah, there's two compelling things about. So Netflix has now become the front runner to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. This is going to be a big battle for it, by the way. It's not over yet. But yesterday, Netflix reportedly made an all-cash offer. So that's one compelling thing. When you're not trading stocks or doing some kind of exotic deal and you're just getting cash, and the seller likes that. But there's another aspect to this, David, that you and I know are interested in. It's because Netflix is, of course, the streaming giant out there. And I am convinced that Warner Brothers Discovery wants to put CNN and some of their other loser channels into streaming-only places, and they would love for a new buyer to do it for them so they don't have to be blamed for it or whatever. And Netflix is a great group to do that, because you can make the argument if you're Warner's, hey, they're really good at streaming. They might actually help CNN. Nod, wink, wink. Just get it out of here. Get it off of cable and put it on streaming where we can make more money or at least forget about it. Netflix can make that more of a seamless transition. So they might be the front runners now for sure.
Very interesting. All right, Jake Novak, great to see you. By the way, on the streaming situation, Netflix and all these places, enough with the ads. I know I got to pay extra if I don't want ads. Gosh, it drives me insane. Absolutely insane. Anyhow, do you have anything to say about that in 7 seconds?
Well, I'm available. If they want me to do any ads, either for RAV or for somebody else like that, that's what I have to say. And remember, I have extra ad space right here. You can just tattoo it right here, and that's for sale too.
Fair enough. Okay. I think my ad space is growing by the day as well. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Time for tea in Denver, the New York Stock Exchange, sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
We're less than a minute away from the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. You hear the applause there in the backdrop. We're going to show you that momentarily. And then we'll get you to New York and the floor at the New York Stock Exchange for the opening bell there at the Stock Exchange. As you heard, it's been kind of an up and down pre-market trading day. It was up, and then the news from ADP came in relative to that jobs report, and the numbers went down a little bit. So let's see if there's a bit of a recovery. You hear the bell ringing there. Franklin Templeton is at the podium. The markets are now officially open, and just like that, it looks like the NASDAQ, well, is back to the red. So the top of our board is down right now. Those would be the major indices, the Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. They are all down at the moment. The bottom of our screen, though, is looking up, so that might be a sign of things to come today. We'll, of course, continue to monitor all of it for you throughout the day and let you know how things ultimately end up at the end of this day of trading. In the meantime, there are lots of politicians who should be getting coal in their stocking for Christmas, but the Birch Gold Group thinks that as a smart planner, you deserve silver. That's why for every $5,000 you purchase between now and December 22nd, the Birch Gold Group will send you an ounce of silver. Silver, by the way, is up 60% this year. Smart people diversify, and they've got a hedge. That's why we encourage you to buy gold from the Birch Gold Group, because with the rate cuts that are coming to the Fed or from the Fed next year, the dollar will be worth less money. And what tends to happen if an AI bubble bursts, well, it means that you could be in trouble. That's why diversification is the way to go. Let the Birch Gold Group help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. And for every $5,000 you buy, you'll get an ounce of silver for your stocking or for your kids. What a great way to teach them about saving smartly. Just text the word America to the number 989898 and claim your eligibility for this offer. Again, text the word America to the number 989898 today, because the Birch Gold Group's free silver with qualifying purchases promotion ends on December 22nd. Text America to the number 989898 today. Still to come here on American Sunrise, we're checking in with our very own RAV reporters who are on the ground at the Pentagon as the Pentagon hosts its final New Media Day this week. There's more American Sunrise coming your way in a couple of minutes.